Welcome to Python Basics. These videos will help you to understand the basics of Python programming language. In this Python website, you can find different versions of Python and a lot of useful discussions, as well as a detailed documentation. However, in order to learn Python more efficiently and stay focused, you can follow this channel and go through this Python Basics module. You don't need to download any Python from this Python website. Instead, you should download the Anaconda Navigator by typing Anaconda in Google first. Then, click the Anaconda download distribution and go to this Anaconda website. Just click the Get Started green button. You can register an account or use your existing Google account to download the Anaconda software into your machine. In this Download Now page, you can select the software depending on the operating system of your own machine. I will use my Apple Mac operating system, and my machine is Intel CPU, so I download for Mac and for Intel. You can check your Mac system by looking at this information on your Mac. If you just bought your MacBook recently, then more likely your Mac has Apple Silicon CPU. If you are using Windows PC, then you can select the Windows button, just under the Download for Mac button. Here you can see the software is downloading and will save in the Downloads folder in your machine. You can click it and follow the steps to install the Anaconda Navigator software into your machine. Once installed, you can see the application in your computer screen or use search to find it in your machine. Click the Anaconda Navigator application. You will see this screen. You don't need to sign in for AI coding help, so close the small pop-up screen. Now let me explain the key features of Anaconda Navigator. First, on the left side, we have a few button options. At this stage, the most important buttons are the first two, Home and Environment. Let's look at the Home option first. On the right side big panel, we have a few applications within the Home option. At this moment, only the first two applications are installed. We don't need these two applications in this Python Basic module, but we need to install some other applications such as JupyterLab and Jupyter Notebook. Before installing these applications, we don't want to make the computer too messy to run programs. We need to create a dedicated virtual environment for us to install these applications in order to run our Python. You will find the benefits of creating a dedicated virtual environment later. Before creating a dedicated environment, if you click the top panel box, it currently shows only the base root environment is existed in this machine. After we created a new environment, the new environment will be shown here as well. There are many different ways to create a virtual environment, but the easy way for the Python beginners is to click the Environment button on the left side panel. After clicking the Environment option, the right side panel shows the existing environment. At this moment, only the base root environment is existed. This environment contains everything that we need to run the whole machine, so we don't want to make messy with it. You can see there are more 500 packages are installed in this base root environment. Now let's create a new environment by clicking the Create button. A new pop-up window will appear and type a name for the new environment. Here I named it as Python Basics. Then, select the version of Python. We can just select the latest one. But if your colleagues or managers specifically ask you to install a particular version to run their Python codes, you should follow their instructions. You can also see the location where the environment is saved in your local machine. Now, it is creating the new environment and uploading the basic packages from internet. You should stay connected online. It may take a few seconds or minutes depending on your machine. As you can see, two environments are appeared in the middle panel. One is the base root and the other is below it as named Python Basics. Now, the new environment is ready. As you can see, there are only 19 packages or maybe slightly different number in your machine in this new environment. Don't worry, we will install more and more packages into this environment. And the good thing is that these new packages will be separated from the base root environment. There are some obvious benefits of using this dedicated environment for our classes. First, we will install more packages. We can easily check whether we installed the right one, since there are less packages in this environment. Second, the new packages will not mess with the existing packages in the base root environment, since the base root is important to run the whole machine. Third, once we finish our Python project, we can just delete this dedicated environment easily, so the computer will have more space. Fourth, we can use the Clone or Import button below to copy and move this dedicated environment to other machines, so our colleagues can reuse this environment in their machines without reinstall many packages again and again. The top panel also has the option to see installed or not installed, but available packages that we may need to install later in our project. There are more than 10,000 popular Python libraries or packages in the Not Installed option. Among these not installed Python packages, some will be needed in our classes later on. For example, NumPy and Matplotlib. We will teach you how to install them when we write our Python code to use them. If we click the arrowhead beside the environment name, there are 4 options to open the computer terminals. We will use them one by one when we need them later on. At this moment, just remember we have these options to interact with the computer terminals. Click Home button on the left side panel. We moved back to the Home panel. You can see currently we are in the Python Basics new environment. Rather than the previous base root environment, we may click the top cell to see both environments. Scroll down the main panel, we will see JupyterLab and Jupyter Notebook applications, so we can install them into this new environment. Once installed, both JupyterLab and Notebook will appear as Launch button. Click the Environment button on the left side panel again, and move back to the Environment screen. You can see there are more than 100 packages installed, rather than 19 packages earlier in the beginning. This means both JupyterLab and Notebook require many packages to install them into the environment. Also, click the arrowhead button beside the environment name. All 4 options are available now. We can use them when we need in our project later on. Now move back to the Home panel and click the Launch button under the Jupyter Notebook application. We can launch this application to allow us to write Python script. We will talk about Python Integrated Development Environment IDE in more details in the next video. Here, this screen showed the Jupyter Notebook is launched. We will explain it in more detail in next session. We can also use the same process to launch the JupyterLab, but we just need one of them to write or open our Python script and write our own Python code. Here is the screen of JupyterLab. As you can see, it is different from the Jupyter Notebook. We will introduce both applications in next session, as well as briefly introduce other main Python integrated development environment software, such as Visual Studio, Spider, Scikar. Some of them are for professional Python developers with more advanced features. But now, enough for this session. See you in next video.